Hey there, it's Saturday, and you know what that means? Match reviews. Football Saturday is on, guys, and Wolverhampton Wanderers were hosting Liverpool in a game that I had Liverpool down to win 3-1. And I thought the game was not going to be close, but it was anything but. Wolverhampton Wanderers were awesome in the first half. They were absolutely electric. Pedro Neto down the left-hand side was causing Liverpool so many problems. And it wasn't before halftime that Liverpool got some semblance of control on the game. The first half was totally Wolverhampton, and they got their lead in the 7th minute thanks to Wang Hee-chan with a wonderfully worked out move that saw them come down the left-hand side, cross in, find Chang at the end of the move that brought Liverpool down to their knees. Now, Liverpool struggled in this first half. They did not look like the same side against Aston Villa. However, after halftime, Liverpool might have had a rollicking from Jurgen Klopp because the game switched. Jurgen Klopp must have gone in and torn in on his players because Liverpool were a totally different side after the break. Now, while Wolves also suffered from being leggy after their exertions in the first half, one could have forgiven them for trying to hold on to a draw for the last part of the game. However, if you're trying to establish yourself in the title race, as Liverpool are trying to do, games like these are going to be very important. They're going to be very important in you trying to establish some type of rhythm at the start of the season. Liverpool were not aided by their performance in the first half. Wolves had countless chances, and they really should have been 2 or 3 goals up by halftime. This is a problem that Wolves are going to consistently have. They just can't finish off chances. They would be a comfortable mid-table side if they were able to have a striker or wingers who were able to put the ball in the net. But as it stands, they do not have that player. And while they have a lot of talented individuals in their squad, they do not seem to be able to take a lot of the chances that come their way. The first half was a lesson in control. They swarmed Liverpool. They did everything that they could other than just put the ball in the back of the net. And Gary O'Neill must be very happy with his side's performance in the first half, but equally, they showed how leggy they could be in the second half. All Liverpool had to do was change the flow of the game. And that they did very well. So despite Cody Gakpo scoring the goal that brought him back into the match, he was substituted. And this meant that Liverpool were going to go all in. Now, if there's a team that thrives under chaos, it's Liverpool. And once the goal went in, there was only going to be one winner. They were dominant in the second half. You could see what Jurgen Klopp was trying to do with Alexis McAllister in midfield. He is trying to play him as more of a deep-lying 6. Now, the defensive duties that he was going to be shouldering were going to be distributed between him and Curtis Jones. Szoboszlai, as the number 8, was going to try and play as the box-to-box midfielder. Wolverhampton were able to read this early, and they overran Liverpool with countless attacks, pressing them deeply into their half. Now, if Wolves were able to take more chances in the first half, they could have easily seen themselves 2 or 3 goals up. However, when you don't take chances against the big sides, as they didn't against Manchester United and now against Liverpool, you run the risk of losing your legs towards the end of the second half. And that is exactly what happened. A few moments of indecision resulted in Wolves conceding the goal right after halftime. And with this, chaos ensued. Liverpool are one of the best teams when chaos ensues. And eventually, they got their just desserts when Robertson scored the second goal. And that was a hammer blow for Wolves, because at that point, they looked more likely to try and hold on for a point. Elliott's goal into stoppage time was just the icing on the cake for a Liverpool side who now show resilience each and every time they go out. This was not their best offering, not in the least bit, especially in the first half. But second half showed encouraging signs of Liverpool being able to take the game by the scruff of the neck. They did the same thing against Newcastle, and they will be hoping to do the same thing against sides in the bottom half. However, this is a game that Liverpool should have controlled. There were a couple of warning signs and a couple of issues that Jurgen Klopp is going to have to fix. He is going to need a number 6 who is going to help shoulder the burden of defensive duties, because they were easily ran through in the first half. And if they do not watch out against a much better side and somebody who will be able to take their chances, they will lose by not being able to stamp a good defensive authority on the team. Otherwise, Good signs for Liverpool. They look as though they're able to try and get themselves back into a game. And that's very important during the course of the season. They do not lose hope. And their ability to turn the game on its head and bring on strikers whose quality is way above the opposing team is going to help them in the stead. However, if they play this way against another top side, they will be beaten. You cannot have a first half like they had and expect to be able to come back each and every time. Now, they were saved by the fact that Newcastle missed a few chances in their game and they were not dominant enough to close out that game. In this one, Wolves did have the chances, and because they were leggy in the second half, they could not mount a good defense at the end of the game. So Liverpool should at least give Endo a start in games such as these where the pressure is not that much. But when you have a game that is going to be high pressure, they will not have the opportunity to come back like they did today. So that's all I got for this one. Liverpool looked shaky at times in that first half, but they recovered well in the second half to take the game. This is not going to be a very common occurrence, but we have seen a few cracks. Hopefully for the Liverpool faithful, they can be able to turn this around and make sure that they now exert more dominance, because the first half was not where it's at for Liverpool. But thanks for watching, guys. That's my review of the game. I have more videos coming up. Stay tuned. Peace.